My name is Sharon Palmer, and I'm the librarian at the Brooklyn Public Library, Kings Bay Library. Today's date is Friday, November 7th, and I'm sitting with Carole Feld at the Kings Bay Library in the Sheepshead Bay community of Brooklyn. Can you state your name, please?
Carole Feld.
Okay. Do you want to say your age?
I'm 76 years old. I'll be 76 on November 21st.
Thank you, Carole. I'm conducting this interview as part of Brooklyn Public Library's Our Streets, Our Stories Oral History Project. First of all, I want to thank you, Carole, for taking the time to come and speak with me about Brooklyn and growing up in Brooklyn.
My pleasure.
Can you tell me, where did you grow up?
I grew up in on Ocean Parkway. I still live on Ocean Parkway, but it was like East 5th Street and Neptune Avenue.
Okay. Can you tell me who your parents were?
I had a single mother. My father died when I was very young. Her name was, you want her name? Betty Bankler. And she worked, and actually I was like, I have a brother, and I was like the father. I was like the mother, she was like the father, because she went to work and she did it, but I learned how to cook and clean and do everything on my own and take care of my younger brother.
I'm sorry to hear that your father passed away when you were a little child.
Right.
Can you tell me what was his occupation before he passed away?
He was a tailor.
And what job did your mother do?
She also worked on coats. She was a finisher on coats.
Okay. Were any of your parents immigrants?
Were.
Which countries?
My mother was born in Russia, but was raised in England.
And your father?
My father was Polish, but I know very little about him.
Did your mother ever talk about how life was adjusting to come into America, being an immigrant?
Well, for her it wasn't so bad. She had an English accent, so she spoke the language. But of course, until she learned how to do, she met my father at a walking tour. They used to have, as a young, in Central Park, there was a walking tour of some sort, class where everybody got together, the young people got together, and that's where she met him. She met her very good friends there, and yeah, it was interesting.
Very interesting.
Right.
You said your mother was born in Russia and she grew up in England?
Yes, she came to England when she was only a year old.
Oh, okay. Very
so
good.
my mother... Some of my aunts had English accents, and some of them had Russian accents.
The older siblings?
Yes, but nobody wanted to learn the language, Russian. Everybody was eager to learn English, so they went to night school, and they would train themselves to speak English. Even my mother, who spoke beautiful English, wanted to be more American, so she went to night school, and she used to stand in front of a mirror and say, "How now, brown cow?" She was trying to...
The pronunciation,
right,
to get it right.
Exactly.
So let me ask you...
I still remember.
So eventually, did your mother get an American accent? Or
Never.
did she maintain the English?
She always
accent?
thought she sounded American, but wherever she went, somebody would say, "Where do you come from in England?" No matter how much she tried, it never worked out for her.
Well, you said you had a brother.
I have a brother,
Okay.
Yes.
Was he younger, older?
Younger. He's 6 years younger.
6 years younger.
Yes.
Okay. And what's his name?
Gerard Bankler. And actually we have different fathers, but we're very, very close. Actually, he's waiting someplace. I told him to come in to be interviewed, but he didn't want to.
Okay, well, maybe another time.
Right.
Now, I just want to take you back to your childhood. Can you tell me if the library played any role at all when you were growing up? Did you visit the library as a child? Okay. No. Can you remember which schools you went to, starting with elementary?
Well, I went to PS 100. I graduated from PS 100 and I went into Lincoln.
Okay. Lincoln High School.
Right.
Okay.
I graduated from Lincoln.
Do you remember any of the teachers from PS 100 that made a difference in your life, or what subjects did you enjoy the most?
Well, reading I liked. Penmanship. I have a very nice penmanship, which today they don't teach the children.
I know.
They don't even. The children don't even know how to write in script. I was very shocked. I wrote something in script to one of my older grandchildren, and he didn't know what it was all about.
And what grade is he in?
He's already in college.
Oh no, but when did you write it in script and he didn't know? This was years ago.
Yeah. It was.
But he was already in grade school,
Right?
And
yes.
still didn't understand
No.
script.
No.
Yeah.
No. I think it's terrible.
So they taught penmanship when you went to school?
Yes, it was a very important subject, and I did well. And if people my age happen to have very nice handwriting, as a rule.
So you mentioned you went to Lincoln High School. Do you recall any of the teachers at Lincoln High School that made a difference in your life, that really impacted upon you?
There was a Mr. Cooper, I remember. He was a history teacher, but, somehow I admired him. And there was a home economics, which I don't think they have anymore, but I don't remember her name. I did very well in that class also.
What did you like about the home economics class?
I liked the idea that they taught you, how to do certain things in the kitchen, how to clean up after yourself. A lot of people don't do that. I know how to, my kitchen, when I cook, I clean up. And usually I don't have too much to clean up that way.
In the home economics class, did they teach you how to prepare meals as well, or was
Yes, certain recipes. Not a complete meal, but recipes,
So
yes.
was it like quick and easy recipes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And what else did they teach in home economics? You said they taught you how to clean up, but...
Yeah, how to clean up, make, cook and everything, and they taught you, how to set a table, how to,
Did they teach you the proper cutlery to eat and stuff like that as well too? Or?
I don't remember.
Okay, just how to set a table and
Yeah, right.
floral
Kitchen,
arrangements.
Yes.
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 Okay, interesting. Now, in terms of
You
history...
don't have that anymore.
Not that I know of. That's why I said it's
Right.
interesting.
I also, when I was in high school, I was the first co-op, in the first co-op class, where I worked 1 week and went to school 1 week. It was
What
the
is that?
beginning.
Core class?
It was towards the end, like I was almost graduating, and they incorporated this where you went to school 1 week and you worked 1 week.
Oh.
And it was very interesting, and I learned that,
That sounds really
Yes.
fascinating.
Yes.
So where did you work for 1 week?
You worked the same place for the whole term, but it was in a factors, a private banking like. It was factors, and I learned my skills there. Yeah, I wound up doing bookkeeping type work, and then eventually, that was when I was young. When I got older, I did medical. Yeah, I was in a doctor's office, and then.
I just want to ask you, did you get a salary for working there, or
Yes.
was it an internship unpaid?
No, I got paid.
Oh, you got paid.
I
Oh,
got
nice.
paid. I mean, I can remember almost that I got paid $35, and that was like
So this was-
1955, 56.
So this was like $35 a month or
A week.
Okay.
I think it was a week, yeah.
Oh,
And I went out and bought myself a pair of shoes I was afraid to tell my mother I spent almost my whole salary on shoes.
Wow, back then, 35
Right,
on a
right.
shoe.
I never did anything like that. I was actually scared to come home.
That must have been some beautiful shoe.
They were. I could see it now. They were gray spiked heels. They were beautiful. And I came home and I showed it to my mother and I said, don't be mad, don't be mad. She looked at them and she said, well, if you don't buy them now, when will you buy them?
That was a nice approach.
Right.
Yes, very
we were
good.
very close and we had a good rapport. Yeah.
Very good. Okay,
You're going to know more about me.
Yes. Can you tell me about the people in the neighborhood you grew up in? You said you grew up in Ocean Parkway?
Well, East Fifth Street,
East Fifth?
yeah. There was mostly Jewish and some Italians. And, you know, I can't really remember. It was hard times when I was young, so I don't have much of a recollection. But we all got along well. Everybody knew their neighbors, not like today. Everyone knew their neighbors. You know, you can walk down the street and everybody knew your name. It's not like today.
So everybody on the block knew you by name when
Right.
you the streets, because
Yes.
you were allowed to come out and play.
Right. We played until late at night when it got dark. Even my children, but now you couldn't do that.
What are some of the games you played as a child?
Well, we played hopscotch, and we played jump rope, of course, and stoop ball. That was a big thing. And
Stoop ball, can you explain?
stoop.
Stoop ball, what is
You
that?
know, where there's stairs and you throw the ball between the steps and it comes back to you. Yeah, stoop ball. Yeah. Jump rope.
Jump rope. Now you mentioned some of the games you and your friends did for fun, like jump ball and
Well,
stoop ball.
right.
What else did you do at that time for
Well,
fun?
when we were young, you know, we played with dolls and carriages, not like today when they're young, you know, they stop playing with dolls. I think it's a good thing to play with dolls because maybe they'd be more motherly.
Did you go to the theater as a child with your friends?
Yes, I did. Not so much with my friends, but when I was in high school, I belonged to a theater goers club. And we went to see many Broadway shows at a very reasonable price. And I saw The King and I, South Pacific. I had The Drama Game. I'm trying to think. But I happen to love the theater.
Well, that was a great opportunity. 'Cause
Yes.
The theater girls. So did you guys get discount or did you get
Yes.
free? Okay.
Yes, we paid very little.
Okay.
I'm sure it was very little, otherwise I would have gone.
Now, what about the movies? Did you go to the movies as a child?
Yes, all the time.
Can you recall some of the movie theaters?
Yes, the Loews in Coney Island, and well, that was the number one really. The Loews in Coney Island. Yeah, it's right opposite Nathan's. That building.
Is it still there today?
Yeah, well, it's not a theater.
It's not a theater
yeah, I
anymore.
think no.
Do you recall what was the cost to get into the movie years ago?
Yeah, it was like probably 10 cents, and we stayed there from early, you know, like 12 o'clock until 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, you know. We watched, they had, you know, segments of Superman and all the, it's time gone by, you know.
So you got like 2 movies when you got there, or was it like short movies?
No, they were 2 long movies.
2 long movies.
Yeah.
Because now you get 1.
Yeah, and we watched the news. The news, because we saw the news, we didn't have television. So we watched the news. We had like Superman cartoons, and then we saw 2 movies. And
So what did they show first? Like the news first? They would show the news for like what, a few minutes?
No, they showed, you know, overseas, like the
Overseas.
soldiers and everything, World War II.
Oh, so this was World War II.
Yeah. Yeah. what was going on. I can hear that man's voice that used to be on the commentator. Right.
So you enjoyed the movies, I take it?
Yes, it was a very big thing, the movies. We used to bring our lunch.
They allow you to eat and bring your own food in, in the
at
movies?
the time.
At the
I guess
time.
I don't know if they allowed us, but we did it.
Yeah, but back then, oh, you guys did it. You don't know if it was allowed, but you carried it in.
Yeah, nobody ever said anything.
Oh, well, that was really wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that you used to go to the Loews movie theater in Coney Island.
Yeah.
So can I take you back?
Excuse me, I
Sure.
think there was an RKO also, like a couple blocks down, if I'm not
In
mistaken.
Coney Island?
Yeah, in Coney Island.
So you went there too as well with
Yes,
your friends?
yes.
So it was a lot of, what type of games did they have there at that time?
Oh, basically they had the go-karts and, you know, a lot of the
Oh, so
same
similar
stuff.
to
right.
now. Okay. So I just want to take you down memory lane
Yes.
to Coney Island because, you know, Coney Island is a really important part of
Of
Brooklyn.
course, of course.
So can you tell us how was Coney Island years ago when you were growing up as a child compared to now? How did it look then?
Well, it was always busy, always busy. It was, you know, people waited online to go to all these different games and different things. And later on, I mean, they used to have like a booth where you can make a record. Yeah, my husband made a record of we had a special song. He made it for me on in Coney Island. I can't find it. I wish I had it.
So how much did it cost to make this record? Was it a lot?
Probably maybe 50 cents. No, not much.
Oh, so you can just go into the booth and record,
Right, exactly.
and then they would just give you the recording.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Now, I know Nathan's has been around for many, many years.
Yes.
Can you remember what was the price of a Nathan's hot dog as a child growing up?
Probably 5 cents. Probably 5-10 cents. I don't think it was more than that.
And what I want to know is, because when you pass now, you see many people waiting online to get a
Right.
Nathan's hot dog.
I still do.
Was it like that when you were growing up, that people would be lining up
Yes.
to get a hot dog?
Yes.
Yes. So it's still famous.
Yes. It was even, there were people always in front of Nathan's. You never got away from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So they always had
And
that
the beaches
clientele.
were always very crowded. And that's, I don't think it's as crowded as it is now. People, my family, some of them came from the Bronx, and they would rent a bungalow in Coney Island and stay for the summer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there were bungalows where the big houses are now in Coney Island. They were like bungalows.
And you could rent one.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that was really fascinating to be able to come and, you
Right.
know, and I'm sure it was affordable so that
Right.
they were able to stay for the whole summer.
Yes.
And enjoy the
Yes.
beach. Now, was the boardwalk there as well as it
Yes.
is now?
Yes.
So, do you see many changes how Coney Island was growing up as opposed to now?
Yes and no. I mean, you know, there's still the array of people, you know, and it's just different, you know. There's different people there, you know. It's very ethnic, and it's, you know. But it was always very popular, always, especially in the summertime. Especially in the summertime.
Was the cyclones there at that time
Yes.
too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So did you enjoy going on the ride, or were you not a thrill
I
seeker?
was not really. I would go on the go-karts and, you know, maybe the carousel. There was a carousel, but that was it, you know. I even, at one point, I did go on the parachute, yeah, but it's, you know, it's time gone by.
Now, as we're talking about Coney Island, do you remember when the aquarium was built?
Before the aquarium was built, there was a sign maybe for 10 years before that they were going to build this aquarium. And, you know, it took a long time before that aquarium was built.
So about 10 years you would say that it was empty.
Right. And there was a sign saying that they're going to build this aquarium. And finally they did.
Wow.
Right.
Do you remember what was on the site before the aquarium, or no? That was too before growing up?
There was probably just like, it was near the handball courts. It's still near the
Still
handball.
is.
So, I don't know, it must have been just more beach or something, you know. I don't really remember.
Did they have concerts at Coney Island when you were growing up?
I don't remember.
No. Because I don't know.
Yeah,
for a few
now
years
they
had.
have, I know, but I don't remember.
All right. Did you and your friends do anything else for fun besides the Broadway, the theater, as well as play ball and play with the dolls? Anything else?
No, that was about it, yeah. I mean, things were just different, you know, it was calmer. Everybody knew each other, you know, sit outside and just talk and talk. Now nobody talks.
Well, yeah, that's the major difference. People knew their neighbors, and as you said,
Right.
they knew them by name.
Yes,
Now,
everybody.
you don't really get that as
Right.
much. No. Can you tell me how your experiences growing up in the neighborhood, how did it affect your life as you went forward?
I think it was definitely beneficial, you know. I learned how to deal with people. I happened to be good with people. And I think in general, you know, it helped. It was a good life. It was a good life.
Now, can you tell me, in your opinion, how has the neighborhood changed? Let's talk first for the better. Has it changed for the better?
It's different. I can't, you know, it's different. It's not really better or, you know, can't compare the two. You know, it's like King's Highway was like a mecca of very expensive stores. There was like Feld Brothers and Sylvia's Shoes. People came from all over the city to come to King's Highway. That was the place to go.
And what part of King's Highway was this?
Near Coney Island Avenue.
Near Coney Island.
Yeah. Coney Island Avenue, yeah. And now it's completely different. Although now I see they built a very expensive jewelry shop and stuff. So maybe it'll come back, but I'm not sure.
So these stores were like what, department stores, or was it like
No.
what?
No,
just
they were
catering-
individual stores.
Oh, individual
Yeah.
stores.
I mean, Field Brothers took up a whole corner. It was a men's store,
Okay.
and it was very, very popular. And Sylvia's Shoes that goes back a long, long time, but it was a very exclusive shoe store.
Let me ask you, did you get that first pair of shoes from Sylvia's Shoes?
No way. I got mine from Baker's. I remember,
Baker's.
right.
Yeah, I remember Baker's.
Right.
And was that
I don't know how I remember that, but I do.
Well, that's true. I guess it made an impact
Right.
because of the cost.
Yes.
Plus, it was so beautiful.
Right,
So,
exactly.
you would remember that shoe.
Right. Exactly.
Any other stores that you can recall that no longer exist today that you really enjoyed going
Well,
into?
there was movies. There was 2 movies on King's Highway. I don't remember the one on Coney Island there. The Tuxedo was here near Brighton. The Tuxedo was near Brighton and Ocean Parkway.
And this is a movie theater?
Yeah. And then there was the Avalon on Kings Highway in East 17th Street or 18th, something like that. And there was a movie on Kings Highway and Coney Island Avenue. That lasted the longest, and it finally went out of business. Now there's a Walgreens there. I miss those
You
theaters.
miss the movies.
Yeah.
Do you go to the movies anymore?
No, not really.
So I guess if I were to take you back to the question before, you would not say that the neighborhood has changed for the better or the worse. It's just different.
Very different.
Very different. I remember
Yes.
you mentioned before that Coney Island, and I guess probably all of Brooklyn, has grown more ethnic right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of Russian people, you know. I think they're good for the neighborhood. I've had Russian neighbors that I'm very happy with. I mean, I've had no problem at all. And just in general, it's different, you know.
Yeah, because the stores have changed.
Yes.
What about the cuisine?
Yeah, well, where I live, there's all of Middle Eastern. Yeah, there's the Sephardic Jews that live there. And, you know, some of it is good, and, you know, it's what you like.
So, having been born in Brooklyn and lived in Brooklyn for many years, can you tell me what makes Brooklyn so special?
I don't know. I think there's a camaraderie, as they say. I know my cousin lives in California, and there's like Brooklyn groups, and people from Brooklyn. My daughter lives in Florida, and there's people that are Floridian that are, she has a t-shirt that says something about being from Brooklyn, and people like all come over to her, Everybody, there's something special about being from Brooklyn.
That connects people who have been born in Brooklyn.
Right, it is.
Yeah, like you said, it's like a kindred spirit,
right,
like you said,
exactly.
a camaraderie.
Right.
So anything else that makes Brooklyn special besides being born in Brooklyn?
Well, I graduated with Neil Sedaka, and a lot of very famous people came from Brooklyn. There's Arthur Miller, the author, and a couple of baseball players, and Barbara Streisand went to Erasmus, and
Neil Diamond.
Neil Diamond, yes. Yes, I can't forget him.
Yeah. Okay.
So
was Neil Sedaka in the same grade with you? Or?
yes. Yes, we graduated. He's in my yearbook.
In your yearbook.
Right.
So anything, what made you stay in Brooklyn? What makes it so special and unique to you that you like? What else about Brooklyn?
Well, actually, I stayed in Brooklyn because I like Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
I always, where I am, I can get onto a bus, and we don't drive all the time,
Yes.
so there's trains and buses and connections to get into the city. It's very easy to do anything, travel-wise.
That's one thing, the great accessibility. It's
Right.
wonderful.
Yes.
Anything else that you think you like about Brooklyn that makes it unique?
Actually, I'm thinking of moving to Florida right now. And my daughter lives, I have two daughters that live in Florida.
Okay.
So, but I'm going to miss Brooklyn. I know I am.
What would you miss?
Well, I just miss the buses and the trains, the libraries, walking to the libraries. I basically go to the Kings Highway branch. But I like this branch because it's smaller and it seems friendlier somehow. It does. Yeah, the couple of times I've been here. Yeah.
Do you go to shows still, like Broadway, or do you go to restaurants?
I do go to restaurants. I don't go to shows. They're very expensive. When I worked, I used to get from from clients, I should say. They used to give me gifts. Broadway shows, I saw Rent and a Music Man and lots of stuff because I always loved that, But now the theater, everything is so expensive. Even the restaurant, the diners have gone up. Everything has gone very high. And you go into the grocery from one week to another, the prices have changed and ridiculous. I was away for 2.5 months in Florida. I came back. In Florida, it was expensive. I came back. It's expensive here. Wherever you go, it's expensive.
Yeah, that's
it's
nice.
a different way of living.
Yeah,
and it's hard. I don't know how the young people do it.
The cost of living is going up.
Yes.
And is there any one of your favorite diner that you like or restaurant?
We go to the Del Rio, which is on Kings Highway in East 12th Street. West 12th Street. That's my phone. Yeah. Should I answer? Okay. And what?
Okay. Is there a message you would like to leave for future generations who will hear this interview?
Well, the only thing I can think of is that I would like people to talk to each other more and not text all the time. When my grandchildren text me, I'd like to talk to them once in a while. And I'm hoping that the future generation will be able to talk to people, even something like this interview, because they just don't seem to be doing it.
It's so easy now. They find it easy to text.
Exactly.
You miss that personal touch.
Right.
I understand. Is there anything that you feel we haven't discussed that should be added to this interview? And if so, what?
No, I think we covered everything, really. I mean, my life anyway.
Okay, well, listen, Carole, I want to thank you once again. It has certainly been a pleasure going down memory lane with you and
Yes.
listening about a Brooklyn that was
once.
Yes. So once again, this project
I
is
have
for...
one more thing to say.
Sorry.
The subway used to be like 5 cents to get on. Yeah.
And now it's $2.50.
And now it's $2.50.
Yeah.
But 5 cents, I can remember 5 cents, paying 5 cents.
5 cents on the subway.
Right. And there were phone booths all over Brooklyn. Wherever you went, you found a phone booth. Now you can't find a phone booth. And that was, at one time, 5 and 10 cents.
That's really great. Okay, thank you very much again. This has been a recording for the Brooklyn Public Library, Our Streets, Our Stories project.